Welcome to the most must-see NWR7 talk show in history. Welcome to The Rundown. I'm Cody Dzis. Follow the Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter at the same handle at NWR7_The Rundown. We have 300 followers. Thank you guys so much for supporting this channel. I really appreciate it. Today, I am very excited. We have a lot to talk about. The first thing we are going to talk about today is all the fall sports results. Obviously, GN football still got their thing going on. We are going to cover them too. In their last two games, they both had losses, so now we're going to cover what they need to do. We're going to give them a bunch of advice, but thank you guys all for the support. Please keep supporting this channel. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, please. Again, career enhancing, career enlightening, and this is a brand new thing I'm going to introduce. Comment question of the day. Thanksgiving is coming up, and we always are all excited to eat food and watch football. At least I am. I want to ask you guys, what is your favorite food for Thanksgiving? Please answer that in the comments. Thank you so much for supporting this channel, and let's get started with the fall sports results. So the first sport we're going to cover today is field hockey. Obviously, I haven't really covered much on the rundown, and I apologize for that. Next year, I'm going to get into that more if I am here next year. Remember, I am a senior, so I may be graduating. Other than that, I'm just going to get right to it. What happened was a 1-11-1 record for Northwestern's field hockey team. They were 0-7 this year in the BL, which I was kind of surprised about. But nonetheless, they were not able to make the state tournament. Obviously, you need to have a certain amount of wins or a certain amount of points, I believe, in field hockey to be able to make the state tournament. And unfortunately, they were unable to do that. I really apologize to you guys because you guys played really hard this year, and I know you guys had a lot of fun doing it. Next year, I'm really hoping you guys can turn things around, actually turn us into a playoff team, perhaps. And also, for the seniors, Laura Kilmkoski, Lauren Viets, thank you guys so much for your 4 years of dedication to this sport. We really appreciate having you guys as Northwestern athletes, and I am going to miss seeing you guys play. And I'm going to miss field hockey as a whole. Obviously, the season is now over, so now we have to adjust to the winter sports. That's going to be pretty difficult for me. Obviously, the fall sports are one thing I look forward to every year. But field hockey, once again, I'm going to mention it, 1-11-1 record, 0-7 BL record, no state tournament, and I apologize to you guys. Good luck next year. I'm definitely rooting for you. And as we do this, I'm just going to mention we're going to keep going up into the sports due to success. Obviously, there is going to be some downers, and obviously there's going to be some upward teams. So we're going to just start down. We're going to work our way up to what I thought was the best team in the entire Northwestern fall sports season. So, next, obviously, cross country. You see Josh Mangini and Colin Amaza are two seniors there. Thank you guys so much for your 4 years of running. You guys have really worked very hard at this, and I really appreciate what you guys have done. Now, in the Berkshire League, the boys finished second. Josh Mangini was actually second in that race with a 17-minute running time, which is pretty good. Alex Buchin came in third, right behind him. Almost a minute ahead it was Josh Mangini. And then Matt Henriksen was 10th. And I just want to say right now, congratulations to Josh Mangini for making all BL first team. And Alex Buchin made all BL first team, so keep watch of that. Now, for the girls, they came in fourth for the Berkshire League. They did a pretty good job, and the best runner for that race was Madeline Adams, who came in 14th with a 23:26 run time, which is pretty good. Now, obviously, I didn't cover much of cross country, and I apologize for that. Next year, I'm going to really try to do my best in covering more. I'm going to try having the rundown be almost at every sporting event. We're going to get an entire crew. Obviously, it's only just me, basically, doing everything, and I can't really get anywhere much, really, unless I have a ride. So thank you guys for the people who have given me rides. Other than that, cross country, you guys have had a really great season. I'm sorry that you guys didn't end up winning states. I know that's very hard, but Berkshire League, congratulations on second place for the boys, and congratulations on fourth place for the girls. That's a really good spot to be in for the girls and for the guys. Thank you guys so much for your effort that you guys put in and everything that you guys have worked for this entire season. Josh, Colin, we're going to miss you guys. I can't wait to see what you guys do in college, and I really hope you guys continue running. I know Josh Mangini does have a scholarship waiting for him, and I know he's going to be running. I'm not sure about Colin. He hasn't given me word on that. But thank you guys so much for running for the past 4 years. You guys have done great. Thank you for defending this school the way you guys could. Now we're up in the better part of Northwestern's fall season. Girls soccer we are now at. They had a pretty good season. They were 10-6-1 on the year, 8-4-1 in the BL, which is a pretty good record and very respectable by me. Unfortunately, their season could not keep going as they were eliminated in the first round of states by Tolland. But there is some good news. Jane Martin, congratulations on all BL first team as a sophomore. That is incredible. I've already said it in the former videos. If you guys need a refresher on who the seniors are, go check out the other videos because I want to thank them right now as I thanked them in the other video for playing as hard as you guys possibly could the last 4 years. I don't need to go through all you guys. You guys know who you are. Thank you guys so much for playing and defending our school the way you wanted to. Now, Northwestern, you guys played pretty well. 10-6-1 is a very good record. It's positive, and it was only one tie. And ties happen a pretty decent amount in soccer, come to think of it. There was 4 ties this year for the boys, and we'll get to that after. But the girls played pretty well. 10-6-1 on the year, 8-4-1 BL record. Only tied once in the BL, and was positive by double their losses. So that's awesome for you guys. Thank you guys so much anyway for playing as hard as you possibly could throughout this entire season. And we're going to miss this team very deeply. Unfortunately, you guys were unable to keep going in states, but I commend your efforts anyway. You guys played really well, and I'm proud of what you guys have done. Now we're going to talk about the volleyball team, and this is one of my favorite sports right now to talk about. They had an incredible season. They had a 10-7 record, and they were 4-2 in the Berkshire League. That's one of the best records that I've seen in recent years for volleyball. Obviously, there's been better years, but, I haven't really taken a history look in a while, so I'm saying this is one of their better years right now, and they actually did pretty good. They actually went to the second round of states after beating Kaner Tech, and obviously you guys know about that. If you watched the last video, I talk about states round 1, and you guys could hear about all the drama that was going on about the fans and everything. Go watch episode 3 and like it if you have to. But volleyball played really well. Unfortunately, they were eliminated by Jonathan Law in the second round of states. They all played really well, though. That's what I was really happy about. I was able to speak to some of the girls on the team, and they had all said that they played their hearts out no matter what tonight. Well, referring to that game. But they all played very well, and I'm very happy for them. I'm sorry that the 2 seniors, Skylar DiMartino and Corinne Tangeron, were unable to get a state championship on their parting season. However, I do have to give some credit. All BL first team for volleyball, Ashlyn Zemaitis, Skylar DiMartino, and Corinne Tangeron, all 3 of you guys made it, and I'm so proud of you guys. Thank you so much for defending our school in the best possible way that you guys could, and I'm very happy that you guys have won those awards. That's a huge honor, and you guys should take that to heart. Thank you for making this season memorable. Thanks the fans, because every single night it was packed, and it was popping for a fan base, and I was very happy with it. And I'm sorry that the season had come to an abrupt end after in the second round. You guys played really well all year through the injuries that were occurring throughout the entire season. You guys were the toughest team that I had seen, and you guys all played really well, and I'm thankful for you guys. Again, Skylar and Corinne, thank you so much for the effort that you guys put in all 4 years. Thank you, Northwestern Volleyball, for letting me be a part of this over the past year. You guys are phenomenal, and I know next year you guys are going to go even further because you guys have a heart like lions. Last but certainly not least, we have the most successful of the fall season so far for sports, boys soccer. And this is from my picture for all their final messages. Obviously, the season is officially over for them. Now, you're going to get a quote from every single guy, but the one guy I couldn't get a quote from, Trey Newman. Number 3, right in the front there. What an incredible player. I'm just going to say it now. All BL first team went to Zach Barone, Mikey Weirdsma, and Trey Newman. Thank you guys for the 4 years that you guys all put in. You guys are incredible players and hard workers, and I really appreciate that. Now, let's get to it. 9-3-4 was their regular season record. That is an incredible record, and you can't even tell me no to that. There is no cap on that. 9-2-4 was their Berkshire League record. They had tied twice to Gilbert, and they had tied 2 other times in the season. However, they played really well considering what they've gone through this year. Unfortunately, their season would also not continue in states for long, as after beating O'Brien Tech 3-1 in the first round, they went down to Woodland and ended up losing that game. Unfortunate loss, too, because it was an overtime win, and boys, they had it. They had it, and unfortunately, the officials were not the best. However, I'm not going to trash on the officials. They do their job respectively. I'm just going to let them be. For the boys, I have a parting message myself. Now, I didn't follow soccer as much over the last 4 years that I've been at this school. I was never always at the games. This year, I've gone to more games than I've ever gone to, if I'm being honest. And considering what you guys have done this year, I can honestly say I was very, very proud to be a part of this fan base. And next year, I know they're going to keep it going. They have a lot of guys that are going to be seniors next year, a lot of guys with a lot of talent for soccer. And that's the time they have to step up. That's the time they have to really become one with the soccer ball and that field. And I know some players, they don't like the field, but you got to respect these guys. They are incredible athletes. They did a great job this season. Impressive soccer record for the regular season and for the Berkshire League just in general. 9-2-4, only losing twice in the Berkshire League games that they had. And they unfortunately lost their Outer League game, but I kind of expected that because Outer League is a lot better than the Berkshire League, just saying. However, Berkshire League is getting put on the map, and I think fall sports really demonstrated that, especially with boys soccer and volleyball, really demonstrating what they could do in the state tournaments. They are incredible teams. Thank you all for the fall sports for being very impressive this year, playing as hard as you possibly can and having fun. I mean, for the seniors, it's your last year, and you guys are making one last run. Congratulations, you guys did as best as you guys could, and that's all we can ever ask for is defending our school. So thank you all very much. Coming up next, we are going to talk about GN football and how their last 2 games have went. They have lost twice. We're going to talk about what happened throughout those 2 games and what they have given up and what they need to do to fix their problems. Coming up next on The Rundown. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to The Rundown. I'm Cody Dzis. Follow the Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at the same handle, at NWR7_The Rundown. We have 300 followers, and I'm really hoping we increase that number over the next couple weeks, over the next couple days. Please, next goal is to 400. Please get it. Like, comment, and subscribe to the video, as I said earlier in the video. And please, comment question of the day. Please answer it. What is your favorite food for Thanksgiving? Now, what we're going to talk about right now is GN football. Last 2 games, they've had 2 straight losses after being 3-3 on the year. Now they are 3-5, and unfortunately, this is going to reflect pretty badly. I'm going to run through some stats, and hopefully, GN players don't get offended by what I say. According to Max Preps, this isn't according to some other website. This isn't ESPN or anything. They didn't get it wrong. Max Preps produced these stats, so I'm just going to run it through. Against Stafford, Anthony Carfero, 0 of 3 on the game and only 1 interception. The passing game was not there for Northwestern, obviously, considering Carfero was 0 of 3. And I'm not going to trash you guys at all. I'm just going to say I'm sorry you guys couldn't do any better. Rushing-wise, Marco Foligno actually had a pretty decent day. 16 carries for 66 yards. No touchdowns on the day for him. Defensively, pass defense was incredible. They had 2 pick sixes. 2, count them, 2 pick sixes. Hunter Sandin had a pick 6 earlier on, and then Ryan Van Dyke would also add on another. Unfortunately, the second half was just not GN's game, and there's a big reason for that. It was the Stafford run game that was incredible. Mark McLaughlin went completely berserk. 30 carries, 161 rush yards, and 2 touchdowns. Do you know how ridiculous that sounds? And then receiving-wise, he had a receiving touchdown, and it was 9 yards. But GN actually did a very good job defensively for the pass game. They only let up 20 total pass yards. That's very good against Stafford, a team that's playing at a pretty high level, a team that is a pretty good run for everyone's money. So, against Stafford, pretty tough game. 24-14 was the final score. GN takes the loss there. Now, this next game is a little tough for me to talk about. I'm just going to say the final score right now. Granby picks up a 54-14 win over GN football. And this was a very tough game for GN's defense. I am very upset on how the game went. Obviously, I was trying to comprehend what happened, but then I looked on Max Preps for the stats, and I wasn't able to get GN stats, which is unfortunate because I love seeing what they've been doing all year. Luckily, the game for Stafford, their stats were up. However, for this time, it was only Granby stats, so I'm just going based off what Granby did according to Max Preps. Now, passing-wise, Jackson Rome was 5 of 8, 122 yards, and a touchdown, and he had a 145.8 passer rating. That is very good for high school football. Congratulations to Jackson Rome. And then, rushing-wise, 14 carries, 167 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So 4 total touchdowns on the day for Jackson Rome, 3 rushing and 1 passing touchdown. Congratulations to Jackson Rome on the incredible game. You deserve the game ball, my young man. Now, the next guy, Colin Mackin. 3 receptions, 101 yards, and a touchdown. He was the one that caught Jackson Rome's pass for the touchdown. And he was the majority of the yards. Passing-wise, they didn't throw too much, but he had 3 of the receptions that Rome threw. So obviously there's a pretty good connection there between Rome and Mackin. Now, another guy that ran really well, Dylan Disabella. 7 carries, 82 yards, and a touchdown against GN. That is incredible. And I'm just going to say this now. GN gave up 7 rushing touchdowns to Granby. That is unbelievable. And Granby defensively were able to get 6.5 sacks on GN. That is absurd and highly respectable. And honestly, if Granby keeps this up, there's no doubt they have a very good shot at winning the playoffs. So, Granby, congratulations on a massive win against GN. GN, I am unfortunately sorry that you guys have been on the 2-game losing streak. Now, obviously, the last 2 games haven't gone so well. For the run game, for GN's run defense, they have not done so well. So, one thing that I want to give advice to is I would have the coaches work with the front 7 for the most part on the run defense, especially in the red zone, because the red zone is probably a very big spot on where they're giving up these rushing touchdowns. Obviously, on the 1-yard line, it's okay because that happens a good amount, but that's one thing to work on, I would say, for GN is the run defense, that front 7. You guys got to improve that for the most part. This is a pretty interesting thing. The O-line recruitment is actually starting, so the O-line could use probably a little bit of a tune-up. Nah, I'm just kidding. You guys are fine. I know we don't have that many big people at GN, so you guys are playing pretty well for the most part. The run game is the primary offense, though, I think, for GN. You guys have done very well in the run game. When you get everyone running very well, that's huge. And against, I believe it was against Stafford, you had Marco Foligno running pretty well, but then the rest of your running backs weren't doing so well. Hunter Sandin had -4 yards, and that's usually not something you see from him. However, for the most part, the run game is your offense. Stick to it. Ground and pound is the way to go, I believe, if you're GN football. So, guys, just keep playing your game. Work a little bit on stopping the run, because that's the big killer for you guys right now. Other than that, you guys have been playing pretty well, and I'm not worried about this little losing streak you guys have gone on. So I'm really hoping you guys get the turnaround, and I am not meaning to disrespect anyone in any sort of way. If any of you take that to offense, you can contact me at any time, either on the rundown, or you can just contact me as it is. I'm okay with that. I'm not trying to disrespect, though. I'm just letting you guys know that right now. So please do not take this as any trashing of GN football. Take this as confidence booster and motivation and any influence and advice. I'm not trying to be a jerk. Remember, career enhancing, career enlightening. Why would I try and trash any Northwestern team? I'm not about that. So, GN, that's my advice to you guys. I don't know if you guys will take it or not. I don't know if the coaches will even listen to this. However, I'm really hoping you guys make the turnaround, and I honestly think you guys will. Coming up next, we have the Q&A, and there are some pretty interesting questions. I think you guys want to stick around for that. Coming up next. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the most must-see NWR7 talk show in history. Welcome to the Rundown. I'm Cody Dzis. Follow the Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter at the same handle at NWR7_The Rundown. We have 300 followers, and you guys know I'm excited for that. I've been saying it all video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the video. And comment question of the day. You guys already know this, but what is your favorite Thanksgiving food? Please answer! Now, we're going to the Q&A. Obviously, I lost my temper there. I really just want you guys to do that. I like that little part that I've added in. However, now, we're going to focus on the Q&A. We had 3 pretty interesting questions, and I'm ready to answer all of them, so let's get right to it. First question, what upcoming sport do I look forward to the most? That is a very important question, because a lot of teams for Northwestern, a lot of people at Northwestern have been asking me about this. People have been asking, "What will you cover? What will you cover? Whatever. Will you cover this? Will you cover that? How are you going to go to this or that event?" I'm going to do as best as I can to support every single NWR7 team that we have. But right now, in my honest opinion, I'm very focused on the basketball season this year, because it is senior year. Senior basketball is incredible. And obviously, we have a pretty solid starting lineup. Every single player in the starting lineup, although I don't know if Levi can or not, but every single player in the front 6 at least can dunk. So that's one thing to look at. The shooting is pretty well for every single player on this team. No one's that bad of a shooter, so hopefully they score a lot from the perimeter and on the inside. Defensively, I know how good Curtis Blishy and Trent Valier are. Joe Oganowski is another great defender. Levi Delaney is very quick, and he can get steals. Cam Mulligan is a hustle player, and I'm very excited to have him back most likely this year. Now, their tryouts are not for another couple weeks, but I honestly think that Northwestern basketball will be pretty good. I'm excited for the boys and the girls, though. The girls have a pretty good team coming back. I mean, they lost Emma Prophy and Cindy Sandin, 2 important seniors. Cindy always brought joy to everyone, and she wasn't that bad of a player. She was pretty fast for the most part, and Emma Prophy was a great ball handler, pretty good shooter. She was a player that would be everywhere on the court. She was the main chick. Now, for the upcoming sports question to answer. Sorry, I got a little bit off topic. I honestly am looking forward to the basketball season the most, both boys and girls. To answer your question. Next, do you think you're going to cover tennis, swim? Now, I'm going to be honest. Last year I didn't cover any of that. Obviously, I wasn't doing the show. The rundown is here. So, obviously, I have to cover both of these. These are very important for me to cover because if I don't cover this, I'm going to get a lot of angry phone calls. I'm going to get a few emails. But I'm definitely going to cover swim and tennis. And if I can't make an event, I am going to get in contact with some people who were at the event, some people who were participating in the event because I know they have their free time as well. So I'm going to get the scoop from them if I cannot make it, which most likely I am a busy man. So I'm going to see if I can make as many as I can. But I'm going to really enjoy everything. And to answer your question, yes, I am going to cover tennis. I'm going to cover swim. I'm going to cover baseball, softball, basketball, wrestling. Every single sport you can name at this school, I'm covering. All right? No problems. And the last question is to grade the fall sports as a whole. This is very interesting because I don't know if I should go about this like every separate sport or just as an entire thing. Even though it does say as a whole, I'm not sure how this person meant that. But I do like this question a lot because it gives me a chance to cover on it. I'm going to give the entire fall season of sports for Northwestern a solid B. I'll give them a B because honestly, they did have a lot of success for the most part. Both soccer teams are really well, and volleyball played very well. Cross country did pretty okay, and field hockey, we already know about them. They were 1-11 and 1. I don't want to get into that. Obviously, there are going to be some bad parts of sports. Not every sport is going to be great at a school. Like you can almost guarantee not every sport will be great at a school. So, if I'm being honest, I will give NWR7's fall season a B because every single sport did pretty well for themselves. They all played hard. And obviously there were some teams that were subpar. There were some teams that excelled very high this year. So congratulations to every single player, if I'm being honest. You guys get a B. That's a pretty good grade. I don't think it's disrespectful at all. I think that's pretty good. So congratulations. You guys all got a B. And you guys all had pretty good seasons considering record and everything. So don't get your heads down if you were on a team that wasn't as successful because you guys are very important to this school. You guys defended this school with honor, and that's the biggest thing. That'll wrap it up for this week. Thank you guys for watching. Please follow the Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at the same handle at NWR7_The Rundown. We have 300 followers. Please get that up to 400. I'm really looking forward to that. And please answer the comment question of the day. What is your favorite food for Thanksgiving? It's coming up in like 2 weeks. I can't wait. Thank you guys all for watching. I'm Cody Dzis. Like, comment, and subscribe to the video. Peace out, guys.